Good morning, Arca family. I missed y'all. I hope everybody's doing good right now. We are now at the halfway point in the school year, and we are at Unit 4, Chapter 1. The Triple Entente is victorious. World War I is over, and war will never threaten the world ever again. No, just kidding. Everything now leads up to World War II, depressing times. So before we get into the depressing stuff in Chapter 3, we're going to take a look at Chapter 1, which is the Roaring Twenties. That's right. Suits, ties, and French fries. The whole kit and caboodle. People going wild, celebrating, living time off of a huge economic boom that we received because of the post-World War economy, and everything is going uphill for now. And then we're going to slowly start to see it just crash into a depression. But that's more Chapter 3. For me, it's Chapter 2, but that's Louisiana history. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. All right, so our chapter title is The Roaring Twenties. That's right. Everybody out partying. All right, in our framework question, what were the main events that occurred in the United States in the 1920s? People start figuring out what credit is, and not in the good way fully just yet. Only a halfway understanding of it. I do have our standards and everything right here. Just to go with everything, 8.12 for the state standards. A list of things you need to know for this. Of course, you should know the 19th Amendment, giving women the right to vote. All the new technology. We're also going to revisit the Great Migration, the Harlem Renaissance, kind of look into a little bit more detail, and the causes and effects of prohibition, a little bit of the 18th Amendment. So yeah, and I have our objectives listed right there. We have a few vocabulary words like modernity. So it's the state of being modern or up to date. So I guess you could say like the way people were dressing, suits and ties and all that, that was their drip of the time, their swag if you're from the 90s like I am. A moving assembly line is a mechanical system in which a product moves through stages and workers are at different parts of it working and applying something new to it to assemble something. Boring, I couldn't do it. Assembly plant is a factory in which cars, machines, or other products are put together, usually utilizing assembly lines in the assembly plant. A sector is just like a part of a division. Switchboard is a panel of switches or other connectors that are used to complete electrical circuits. Our robotics club is really good at utilizing those breadboards, stuff like that. Celluloid film is a flexible, transparent, like plastic film on which images are recorded. So like those little spinny things, the Zapruder film is an example of that from the 1960s. The ticker tape parade. The ticker tape parade was a parade held in a city in which decorative shredded paper is thrown onto a paper route. Renaissance, a time of intense culture and artistic rebirth. And we've covered different types of Renaissance, but once again, we're going to see our country enter like a new period, a new Renaissance, a new mental awakening of the arts. Salon is a fashionable gathering of people held at a home of a prominent person. New Iberia is really good at having those exclusive events. Prohibition, the prevention of something such as the sale of alcoholic beverages. And that directly ties to the 18th Amendment we're going to cover. So we're going to see two amendments in this chapter kind of pop off. The 18th Amendment and the 19th Amendment. I think we're going to kind of see the tail end of the 21st Amendment, which repealed the 18th Amendment. So yes, we do have 27 amendments, but only 26 are currently in effect. Our second set of vocabulary words, a bootlegger, someone who supplies illegal alcoholic beverages. That's where you see the Tennessee moonshiners kind of come into like a big thing. Speakeasy, one of the cool things to learn about this time period. It's basically a nightclub where illegal beverages are sold. That's where they had the little switch, the little doorknob, like you would slide it and like your eyes could peek through and see who was at the door, and you could question them and then slam it and let them in, or slam it and tell them go away. Speakeasy is awesome. They should have like one coming to Lafayette soon, I think, or maybe a Paso, not sure. And we have gangster, and a gangster is a member of a criminal organization, not somebody you should want to be, imitate, or live a lifestyle like. Suffrage, the right to vote, which directly ties to our 19th Amendment coming up. And our 19th Amendment is giving women the right to vote. So yes, so suffrage, the right to vote. In this case, we're talking about women's suffrage that they've been fighting for since you've been learning in 7th grade. Awesome. All right, so lesson 1 focuses directly on what we were talking about earlier, booming economy. And when we're talking about economics, we're talking about ways that like if we're talking booming in economics, that's a good thing. That means our economy is booming. That means it's like exploding in growth and everything going up. But of course, we know economics, everything balances out. That's why I don't like to study. It's depressing. Our objective: explain how economics affected society and and culture in the post-World War I United States. And I mean, this lesson is just one of many. So we're going to kind of look at the input. And this, you're going to kind of see the gold standards start to kind of fade away. And people are going to start living more on I mean, we still use the gold standard legally, but everything is kind of based on credit nowadays. And people didn't understand that credit. So we're going to see the booming 20s, the roaring 20s kind of turn into the depressing 30s, you could say. Kind of like aging, I guess. I don't know. I'm not depressed in my 30s. I'm happy. But some people, I don't know. All right, so list some of the cultural changes and experiences the United States underwent in the 1920s. That's our bell ringer for the day. We have 2 readings, Looking Ahead and A Booming Economy. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, we will have a primary resource that kind of ties all this together. But for Looking Ahead, I have 3 questions to go along with it. What were 2 nicknames for the 1920s, and explain how these nicknames came about from the ring. How did President Warren G. Harding, we see him again define normalcy. So what is normal for our country? And that kind of ties back to his big political speech, you know, healing, stuff like that, our country healing, kind of being to ourselves. And what changed the ordinary lives of millions of Americans during the 1920s? I want to know what that big impact was. Then our second reading, we have A Booming Economy, which we're going to jump to right after that. I have 3 quick questions to go with that as well. How was Henry Ford, get it? I think that breaks down a lot. Just kidding. It does. Able to make his automobiles affordable for most Americans? How did the success of the automobile industry impact other parts of the American economy? And how did the rise of automobile change where Americans lived and worked? So how did that change where people could work now? I mean, it's no longer taking a little horse and buggy to get from point A to point B or walking. We're starting to see technology play a huge role in American advancements and in changing lives. Our primary resource is a 1920s advertisement. That's what I'm going to take my time with my students on. We're going to look at this picture and look how happy everybody was. Look how happy. And this was just an ad, like a Heinz apple bar. Heinz still around to this day. And we're going to answer some questions that go along with this 1920s advertisement, like what is the message or phrases, anything that's Heinz is safe to buy, and the Heinz cleans kitchens, all that stuff we're going to talk about. According to advertisement, who is buying this product, and what does the advertisement tell you about how consumers of this product were viewed? So who's like the target audience? Who are we targeting in this? Who is our main customer going to be? And that's what you want to target. And how does this advertisement compare to modern examples? How is it similar or different? Nowadays, we see like a lot of irony in our advertisements, our commercials, any type of media, and stuff like that. And then my students will do a primary resource analysis, and we'll move on. I'll also take this as this flashcard, the Roaring 20s, as my exit ticket for the day. So what were the main events that occurred in the United States during the 1920s? And as you can see, like the dress, the style, the art of the time, everything kind of coming together for the Roaring 20s. So we'll kind of take a look at the impact the automobile industry had on the United States during this time period as well. We're going to start talking about like a lot of the fun stuff people were doing back then. So before everything got bad. So yeah. So with that being said, that's pretty much it for lesson 1. There's going to be 5 lessons in this little chapter. All kind of detail and highlighting different aspects of the 20s, but that's where we're at right now. So if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to email me anytime. And I hope that you're able to join us back in school. I hope everything's going okay. And remember to live the ARC away, grow your strong minds and great hearts, or great minds, strong hearts, one or the other. Love yourselves and love each other. And remember to live the ARC away. I will see y'all in the next video. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.